I used to think that I was lazy. That was until I realized that I was emotionally exhausted. So if at all you keep sleeping and trying to rest and you still feel tired, then you're in the right place because you're going to dive deep into why that is happening to you. Right, but before I get to that, let me first introduce myself to my newcomers and say, welcome. My name is Olava Tarams, the founder of Dreamers Elevation Network. This is a place where we teach you how to use your skills and your passion and turn them into a profitable business. And for my lovely people who are coming back once again, I say welcome family. Let us dive in together on today's video. I used to be this one person who, even though I was going through a lot, or when I didn't feel rested, like I said, I still want to show up early, wake up really early in the morning, do this, do that. I would want to, wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning and try to post some of the activities that I had for the day. I tried to exercise every single day without fail, no matter how tired I was. I wasn't even flexible, and so that led me to not feel rested. Even though I kept on sleeping and sleeping, I still didn't feel rested, right? The reason why this is happening is because, again, the society that we live in actually supports this type of behavior, and society praises productivity. Right now that it praises productivity, it leads you to make you feel like if you're not productive, then you are a failure in life. This is why most of the time you find out that people consistently put a lot of pressure on themselves even when they're going through a lot emotionally. Now, the first thing that you need to understand is that emotional exhaustion doesn't always look like crying or breaking down. Sometimes it can look like emotional sensitivity, like when people are be like, you're too sensitive these days. Maybe it's because you're emotionally exhausted. Sometimes it looks like being irritable, procrastinating, feeling disconnected from yourself. So those are the things that could also show you that really you are emotionally exhausted. Now, the second thing that you need to also get is that overgiving and lacking boundaries is one of the reasons why you may be feeling this way. Because here's the thing, people who are overgiving or people who don't have boundaries, it doesn't mean that they are weak people. They're just people who have been strong for too long and have been carrying too much, right? Because someone who overgives and someone who don't have boundaries, they usually carry a lot, carry people's emotions. They help everybody. They don't know how to say no. They are overthinking most of the time, and now at some point their body starts giving up because it's just too much. Things are just too much. I mean, yes, like I said, we are not superhuman. Sometimes everything becomes too much for you to handle, and then you wonder why are things not working out the way you want them to work out. Now, understand this, having boundaries or saying no is not selfish. It's basically protecting you from, being overwhelmed a lot, or sometimes having boundaries and saying no, it helps you maintain your mental health. So take into account that. The other thing is, the third one is that we live also in a society where we are influenced to do more, achieve more, be successful quickly, be great quickly, be better today. And so this thing makes you feel like resting is illegal. You resting is something that is very bad. Now you keep pushing yourself to do better, do more every single day, even when your body's failing you. And then now this leads to negative things, that you can't do anything anymore, you're unable to do what you used to do anymore, you're not who you were before. And so all these things become so hard because now it's very hard to overcome this, because now you will now think that you are a failure, right? So this is why it's important to understand that even though we live in that type of a society, know your body. When it is falling apart, it's basically telling you that something is wrong, right? Something is wrong. Now you need to pay attention what is really wrong and really look into that. Now let's talk about recovery, right? That recovery doesn't always look like sleeping. Recovery can be being in a silent place. Recovery can be disconnecting from, the world and just isolating yourself. Can also be recovery. Recovery can also be having self-care day in a week where now it's just a time when you don't think about anything productive, you just do whatever that you want to do. Recovery also looks like slowing down. Slowing down can also be recovery, right? Another thing can also be saying no. That is the boundaries that we're talking about, can also be one of the things that can help you recover. Now, if when we take it a step further in terms of recovery, stop trying to, multitask. That is one of the most important things. Stop trying to multitask. The other thing is reduce social media. Most of the time, you need to understand that usually when you are going through this, you use social media to drown yourself in, to drown your sorrows. You keep flipping, you keep scrolling, and the more you scroll, the more depressed you feel, the more you feel like you are being left behind, right? So now reduce social media. I'll repeat this one. Learn to say no. Create boundaries. Don't overgive to people. Why? Because that care, that love, put it back into yourself and tell your loved ones that sometimes this is just your time. You need your time. Understand that you don't have the capability to now carry their load. Another thing which is very important is that to recover, allow yourself to fail and allow yourself to rest, because you need rest in order for you to be productive or in order for you to be consistent in anything that you want, right? Allow yourself to rest. If this video has helped you, then tell me in the comments what really stood out to you in the video. Another thing, subscribe in order to be notified whenever I post another video, so that you can change your life in a way or help yourself to understand why sometimes you go through certain things and how you can actually navigate through them. So yes, I'll see you on my next one.